Well, acting on a suggestion in correspondence that was opened by the company secretary's, company CEO's personal assistant, which is why she got the prize for the idea rather than whoever it was who sent the idea in. We're going to start work putting this dear old thing into corporate colours. Now, it had a crack in the body front. I have dealt with that, but I think I need to take the pantographs off. I've also had a go at cleaning it. It came up remarkably cleaner than it was. It was actually quite horrific how much dirt came off that, but I want those pantographs off so that we can get the body cleaned. I also need to patch that hole, but once we've got the body clean and separate, we can think about putting some paint on her. And another problem this particular body has was caused, somebody had, not me, I hasten to add, somebody had wound electrical tape around it, and the glue seems to have attacked the plastic. That's going to want a bit of delicate sanding down, some very fine grit, just to tidy that up. But the pantographs came off easily enough. Well, there she is. She's been brought over to the Faber Carriage Company because they're the only people with a big enough spray booth to spray locomotive bodies. Well, now what we've got to do is leave that to dry. The tin of paint actually says that it's a 30-minute dry to touch, but I'm going to have lunch, which means I'm going to take longer than 30 minutes. And the colour we used is red. Well, I did get some gardening done, not very much. And then it stopped raining long enough to come and look at that rose. Isn't that just spectacular? Yeah, and it stopped raining long enough that somebody climbed that ladder and jumped up there. That's our Reese. Poor old Reese. He sort of suffers with, well, he's always fighting his nephew, and the pair of them have got scars on their noses. Well, I'm pretty pleased with the way this looks at the moment, and I had a different noise then. Ah, yes, because I'd put that there. That was silly, wasn't it? Right, yes. Now, I went upstairs exploring, looking for carriages and wagons and things, and I found this in my stock, and I remember why it was put away and pretty much buried, because as you can see she's missing a few bits. Now this is a well, it's a parcels van, I guess, made by Lima of Italy, and well, if you buy stuff at brocants that has been chucked in boxes and knocked about, sometimes they're not exactly complete. I'm sure we can find an axle to go in there, and this one is roughly the right colour already. Anyway, we'll just shunt that out of the way. Possibly. There we are. That's out of the way. Now, the other day we got out this rather lovely person. This is a British Rail Class 31 diesel. Diesel electric. And that runs quite nicely. And it's very, very pleasing to see classic diesel traction in action. Doesn't like that point that much. Not surprised, I don't like it that much. Now, what is better than one Class 31? And don't say a Class 47, because I showed you that the other day. But scrambling around upstairs, I couldn't remember what was in this box, and I hadn't written on there what was in it. It's another Class 31. How about that? Got a different head code. I can't remember where I got this from. I don't think I've ever had it running, and I think that's probably the next thing that we want to do, to see if it can run, will run, whatever. So we'll pop this Class 31 away, out of the way, and just see what happens. I'm expecting nothing, but one never knows until one tries. Well, I think with a little bit of magic juice we can make that run an awful lot more nicely. How about that? Well, she got a squirt of magic juice. How about that? Goodness, we can move some freight with this lot. There we are. Right, what I'm going to spend the rest of the evening doing is having a little tinker and seeing what sense I can make out of some of the other things that I pulled out of the loft. You know, what we're looking for is something suitable to put behind this. Also, I need a source for some bits and pieces. You know, we're missing some window frames, and yeah, we've got a few things to do with this before we can call it finished.